Hello great people, in a moment I'll play you an explosive video of how Sharia was instituted in Nigeria. This video hot he hot past fire, and I would advise you that you should sit down and relax and not miss it for anything because it is explosive. You will be hearing from the man that led the advocacy for Sharia and instituted it and ensured its expansion across northern states, and even had the dream of expanding it throughout Nigeria in the person of the former governor of Zamfara State, Sani Yarima. You would hear from him, but you will recall that the United States government recently designated Nigeria a country of particular concern, and the US government is compiling list of those that instituted Sharia and blasphemy in Nigeria, and they are going to slam crippling sanctions on them. Is this man one of the people that the United States is looking for? Well, you will watch the video, but one thing you will do for me is, if you are here to subscribe to this channel, share this video, let everybody get to see it, because most people don't know how Sharia was instituted in Nigeria. But now you have the opportunity to hear from the man that forced Sharia on Nigerian government, Sani Yarima, former governor of Zamfara State. Let's watch the video.
You were the first governor
to
do that.
You see, the genesis of that law was very historical.
Tell me about it.
When I left CBN, I left CBN to Sokoto State to learn more about my religion.
Okay.
When I was in CBN, I went for Umrah in 93. I had first Hajj in 1992, but I went for Umrah in 1993, my first Umrah. That's lesser Hajj.
Yes.
And in that Umrah, all Muslim knows that every night people pray late from 1 o'clock till around 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock. And the sheikhs, the imams that lead the prayer, Sheikh Sudais, normally make dua supplications at the end of the prayer. And on the 27th day of Ramadan in 1993, he was making supplications, and many people were crying in front of me, behind me, left, right. And I found that I was also crying. Unfortunately, when I finished, I discovered that I was crying because I didn't know what the sheikh was saying.
You didn't know what he was saying?
Yeah, because I don't know Arabic.
Okay.
And when I take my Quran as a Muslim, I could not understand, I could not read it.
Read the Arabic.
I could not read Quran too much.
Okay.
So I decided to leave CBN then and go back to Sokoto, because in CBN Foreign Operations Department, I was going to the office 7:30 and we close 9, 10, 11, sometimes up to 1 o'clock, because we are the office that provide Estacots and all foreign currencies to all the agencies and ministries of government, ministries and departments. So there was no time for me to
You didn't have time for yourself, basically.
Myself. So I decided to go back to Sokoto, where I go to the office at 8 o'clock and close 3 o'clock, just to learn more about my religion, my Quran and so on. And I now returned to Sokoto. I was appointed director of budget, and I was learning. I finished the Quran that I wanted to do. And in the process, when we were learning, I was learning in my boss quarters.
Okay.
But later, they said I should build a small mosque in front of my house so that we can learn and pray inside that mosque. So as we finished the mosque, the sheikh that was teaching me, Abu Bakr Silami, said, well, it's better we do walima. We just do a small celebration.
Like a graduation.
Graduation. That time I had finished the Quran and we built a mosque. So the cassette is there.
Okay.
It's still historical.
You went back to school, kind of.
Yes. So 1994, when that celebration was going on, they called me to come and say something as a graduate and somebody who also finished the mosque. I just stood off and said, after greeting the people, I said that we were learning in the boss quarter, but Sheikh Abu Bakr Silami now said we should build this mosque, so that we should learn and pray in it. That while constructing the mosque, something came to my mind, that we are not going to learn in the mosque and pray alone, that we are going to use that place as an avenue to discuss how we are going to implement Sharia in Sokoto, how Sharia will be implemented in Sokoto State and Nigeria at large. I didn't know what brought the issue of Sharia, but I knew At that time, I listened to tafsir,
Okay.
Quranic something.
Teachings,
in my car.
yes.
And every time Sheikh Gumi, Dahir Bochi, all these sheikhs, when they are talking, they always talk about Sharia.
Sharia.
And I thought Sharia is simple. It is something that you have to abide with as a Muslim. That we have Muslim governors, military and civilians. We have presidents. That why don't they do this Sharia? I thought it was very simple. That was 1994. 2 years later, Zamfara was created. And I gave you the background of my journey into politics.
Yes.
So while in campaign, in 1998, an organization, Izala Group of Jos, invited all the gubernatorial candidates on their launching of a mosque and preaching.
Okay.
I was the only one that attended. The PDP candidate didn't go. So when I went to speak, I told them that I'm running for this office not only to benefit myself, but to make sure that I encourage people and make sure that they have freedom of religion, they worship their religions the way they want. The sheikh, one sheikh, Sayyid Al-Hassan Jingir, now came and said, the only way I can help the Muslim is to introduce Sharia when I become governor. I came back to the podium and said, I promise God and these people that if I'm elected the governor of Zamfara,
You will introduce
I will introduce Sharia. That was 1998. It's a campaign promise.
Yes.
People didn't know. I was elected afterwards on January 9th. 2 weeks after the inauguration, we took over in May, May 29th. In June, they organized another preaching session. They invited me again as governor. Then this sheikh reminded me of my promise.
Of your promise.
And I came up again after my speech. I came back and said, as soon as I returned to Gusau, the state capital, I was going to inaugurate a committee to advise me on how best to do the Sharia. I came back. I invited a very old Attorney General of Northern Nigeria then.
Okay.
He was alive. He was from Zamfara State. And a lot of lawyers and some ulamas. And inaugurated a committee headed by that Attorney General, Alhaji Usman Angogo Pungudu, of blessed memory. And I said they should advise me on how to do Sharia. Immediately after the inauguration of the committee, 2 days later, the American ambassador bounced in my status out notice.
Oh my.
He said he was here to see me. I said, oh, American ambassador? They said yes. With a retinue of staff. They came to my office. Then he now said that he's here to see me because I announced that I was going to do Sharia. What type of Sharia was I going to do? Is it the Afghanistan type? Or the Saudi Arabian type? Sudan type? Or Pakistan type? I said there was only one Sharia as far as I'm concerned.
You're concerned.
And that I'm elected as a governor. I swore by the Constitution to adhere and protect the Constitution. So I'm going to do it according to my Constitution. He said, oh, so long as you are going to follow the constitutional procedure, America has no problem
with you.
The next day, the British ambassador came.
Uh-oh.
The same day, a German ambassador arrived. The next day, French ambassador. In short, that week, all European ambassadors, one after another, came asking different questions. What was I going to do? And suddenly, after just a week of the inauguration of the committee, a group of lecturers from Center for Islamic Legal Studies, ABU Zaria, now came to me and said that they learned that I have inaugurated a committee to do Sharia. And immediately they gathered themselves, about 7 or 9 of them, to look at the Constitution. And they found that I can implement Sharia 100% except one issue.
Okay.
That is apostasy. That somebody who changes religion, I cannot put it as part of my law because Section 38 of the Constitution guaranteed freedom of religion for every Nigerian, either alone or in community with others, in private or in public, to practice, worship and observe his religion, and even change his religion if he wants.
If he wishes.
On Tuesday, I received a letter for emergency meeting of National Council of States.
Okay.
On Wednesday. I came to Abuja. For the first time, there was never a meeting when the security agencies were all invited.
Were present.
In the National Council of State. All the former heads of state and presidents.
Everybody.
All the governors, 36 of us, service chiefs, chief of army staff, chief of defense staff, minister, everybody
all
was
the
there.
security
Minister of
chiefs.
Defense. Then Mr. President sat down and now in annoyance and angry, General Obasanjo, he now said that he cannot be president of Nigeria when a governor under his watch will do something unconstitutional by implementing Sharia. I say, Mr. President, you cannot say it's unconstitutional. He turned to his left and asked the Attorney General of the Federation, Chibola Ige. He said, Attorney General, is the governor not doing unconstitutional action? He says, sir, it's unconstitutional. I say, no, Attorney General, you don't have power. At that time, I was so educated by those committee,
Like the committee.
from Zaria, every section of the Constitution that gave me the power, the right. I now quoted the section of the Constitution that says, if there is any conflict between the law passed by the state government and that of the federal government, it is only Supreme Court of Nigeria
that will
determine which law is right. So one governor from the north stood up in annoyance and said, Mr. President, this is Nigeria. We cannot, because of one individual, allow Nigeria to break. This action being done by a governor of Zamfara is capable of destroying this country. Then I stood up, I said, my life is neither in your hand nor in my hand, and just sat down because I realized what you were saying, that because of one individual, they cannot allow Nigeria to gather here and this thing. So then one governor in the south, from the south, raised his hand and said, Mr. President, this Sharia issue has nothing to do with us in the south. It affects only the north. You can see the who's and cries will only come from the north. That I would suggest that you allow the vice president, who is their brother, to invite the 19 northern governors and resolve their crisis.
And resolve the issue.
So the meeting now resolved that the vice president should invite the 19 of us to resolve the issue. In the morning, we came to Abuja, and the vice president was confronted by the journalists. What was the resolution? He said, we have not agreed on anything yet, but we are going back to penal court of northern Nigeria. We suspend the Sharia and before a decision is taken. Then Aliru was interviewed later. He didn't know, he was not around when the vice president was interviewed.
Made his own
They confronted him. They said, they learned that a decision has been taken to suspend the Sharia law. He said, no. It didn't happen. Yarima insisted that he passed his law and that he cannot change this thing. Then Obasanjo now got angry when he got the knowledge, that information that we have not resolved the matter, and invited us in his house in the night the following week for another meeting, 19 northern governors. You know, that time the ulamas were preaching, they were mobilizing people, asking the governors to follow suit. They didn't, but that night meeting made Kure to say tomorrow he's going to declare Sharia. I was sitting in Abuja in my residence in the lodge at Sokoro. I just saw Kure. It was out speech, written speech, it was out law passed. He just sat down and said today he, Engineer Abdulkadir Kure, by the grace of God, the executive governor of the Niger State, has hereby declared Sharia law in Niger State. That he has given all Brussels, prostitute houses, 2 weeks to leave his state. And he has declared, he asked all the beer parlors to close, to shut down in 2 weeks. And gambling houses are also given 2 weeks to leave the state. Then he said he's going to prepare his bill and send to the State Assembly within these 2 weeks to get it passed. It was only then he contacted me, got the documents that I passed, and he presented to Assembly and passed it into law within 2 weeks. The next day, Adwa declared Sharia in Katsina State. Because of that meeting.
Yes.
And then the next day, Bapara declared in Sokoto State, and that's how state governors started declaring in northern Nigeria. 11 states declared. The 12th state was Kano. He didn't declare because he promised President Obasanjo he would never declare Sharia. But unfortunately for him, people in Kano are mobilized. They follow him anywhere he go for Jumu'at prayer. They stop him. They started even throwing stones. Then he now moved to army barracks to be observing his Jumu'at prayer. Even there, people started following him. Then around January, February, the election was, I think, in April or March. He called me in the night. I said, Yarima, this problem you created for us. Chief Obasanjo now called me this night and said he received security report that if I don't declare Sharia in Kano, I was going to lose election. That he advised me to quickly declare Sharia. The president that said he would not allow Sharia is now advising the governor of Kano State, he's still alive, the two of them are alive, to declare Sharia in Kano. He said, please come to Kano next week, support me to declare Sharia. I went, we gathered people, a very large crowd that are ready to observe the Sharia law in Kano. He declared Sharia and he still lost election. Because he didn't do it
on time.
Intentionally.
Yes.
He didn't
do it with good intention.
It was basically
just for the purpose of election.
And he lost it.